Done, bro. Wait, where you going? To watch the full 94 podcast. Can't watch that without me. Wait up, bro. You know Full 94 is my favorite show.
Winning.
A winner, the champ, the best, we are all of them. Cause we went right and not left to not follow them. Sobriety tests, I am walking up in line. Added the sex and the drugs, but couldn't subtract my mind. They all wanted me dead. I was chilling in the cut, then I transformed like I'm best friends with Shia LaBeouf. See, I've been a winner, check it, and I ain't even firing. Church time's God, I'm a product of my environment. We are winners, losers come with me. Got God with us, never letting flesh envy. We don't worry about the money, the sex, the cars, the clothes. Now watch reality unfold like we winning in here, yeah, we winning in here.
Squad up, Full 94 here, full effect. You know what it is, man. How is everybody feeling? Tell me that first off. Tell me that, Jude. What you doing over there, bro?
Bro, I'm straight, man. Catching up on some schoolwork and watching some NBA in the background while I do it. So,
Man. Look, and then for the folks out there who don't know, I don't know if you truly know, like the people of Facebook know Julius very well. I would think so, right? But I don't know if a lot of people know a former Navy SEAL, right? Always SEAL. Once a SEAL, always a SEAL, right? Let me get that correct. Right. And then studying to be a lawyer now, in the midst of talking about basketball, whenever he feels like he's going to people about LeBron. So it is what it is. It's a lofty lifestyle. You know what I mean? Yes. Tell me, Will, just what's going on, brother? How you feeling?
I'm copacetic, man. It's 70-degree weather in Florida, so I can't complain about nothing. I mean,
you love bringing up this weather thing. I don't understand. Hey, man, you like throwing shots. That's okay.
I just need y'all to understand. You know what I'm saying? You see my skin. I'm out here extra luxurious today. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to that Wakandan water.
Wakandan water. I love it, man. Tell me, look, give me quick updates, man. This week, what it's been like, especially, I mean, basketball's been great. Grizz looking crazy. In-season tournament kicking off. Like, just give me your thoughts for the week. What's going on?
I hate the in-season tournament.
Shout out to Ms. Marva. What's going on, Marva?
Hey, Ms. Marva. It's not a popular opinion, but I hate the in-season tournament. I feel it's pointless. Like, you're just giving us like these colorful courts. Like these are multi-millionaires and they're playing for a tournament so they can win an extra $500,000. There's nothing to it that makes it exciting except for that they get a cup at the end. Like, it just feels like a cash grab by the end.
So no worries, we're definitely gonna hop into that. Drew, tell me anything else of the week that stood out to you.
Anything from the week that stood out to me?
Yes, sir.
I really like Asar Thompson, bro. He really been doing his thing in Detroit right now, and when that young fella get a hold of the game, watch out, man. You talking about rebounds, steals. He actually defends. He getting blocks. He scoring the basketball. Detroit building something out there, man.
Facts. I like that. And that's
hey, man. I am gonna say one thing though. And it's an unpopular opinion, but I'm gonna get it out before you start the show. I'm not sold on Wemby yet.
Not at all.
I haven't. So here's the thing. It's not to say Wemby's not a great player. Okay. Because I feel like he has the keys to be a great player. Okay. But he's played Phoenix twice. Okay. Phoenix is trash. I mean, let's be honest. Phoenix is trash. Then he's played like the Rockets and maybe one other team, but I don't know nothing about that. I don't care that it's 78 in the Lou. Sir, it's 78 here in December. It's not that in St. Louis. We are not the same. Yeah, I'm not sold on Wemby yet. That's it.
Not sold. So it's just not. But when you say not sold, tell me, is that
like everybody else is? Like everybody else is like, oh, he's the next great superstar. Like I believe that being around Pop, he's going to develop into that. But I'm not buying that yet. Yeah, because I haven't seen enough. I need to see him up against some of the best big men in the league. And right now, I mean, we've seen what's happened with Phoenix. Everybody's putting up numbers on Phoenix. So it's not to take anything away from him. I just think it's a little bit too early to put that on him to be like, yo, he's the next. Like NBA today is comparing him to Shaq. Like, what are you doing?
That's a lot. That's a lot. I don't know about that. That's a lot.
No, I heard Robinson. I didn't hear Shaq. I heard David Robinson.
Yeah, man.
I saw the Shaq story though.
Yeah, they put him up on Shaq, and I was just like,
yeah, I saw the Shaq
relax.
Story. All right, so let's get to this first thing, man. In-season tournament. You talked about it. You've already kind of shared how you feeling about it. Let's make sure that we can actually understand what it is that people out there know. Don't go. So the inaugural in-season tournament tipped off Friday. It'll culminate with a championship on December 9th. Semifinals, December 7th. Championship take place T-Mobile Arena in Vegas. All right, consists of 2 stages, group play, knockout rounds. All 30 teams have been randomly drawn into groups of 5 within their conference based on won-loss records from 22-23 regular season. November 3rd to November 28th, each team will play for designated group plays on tournament nights. Go to the knockout rounds. 8 teams will advance to the knockout rounds. Team with the best standing group play plays with each of the 6 groups and 2 wild cards. All 67 games across both stages will count towards regular season standings. Only game that doesn't count is the championship. But you'll continue to play the 82 games in the season, including those a part of the group play and the knockout rounds. Now, I mean, if we're talking straight up, right? You're pulling from the soccer playbook, right? Like you're pulling from international football. You know what I mean? Where they have. I'm not super deep into soccer and deep into FIFA and everything. Like, but I play FIFA. I know how many tournaments I got to play during the season. I know I'm going for this cup and that cup, and hoping my players get up to be in this other league. Like, so I think what they're doing is taking a page out of the international book for sure. But tell me, like, when you talk about group play and knockout rounds in the middle of the season, I saw an interesting take from, who was it? I forget who gave the take, but he basically was like, what if the winner of the championship gets a guaranteed playoff spot? Like maybe they're playing for something different, and the older teams in the league will play for something to take it serious. You know what I mean? Does that change anything, or what is it? What's your initial thought, and then tell me what changes could possibly be made to make that more entertaining than just in-season tournament. I'm sorry, free fall. Go ahead.
That was Tyrese Halliburton that said that, actually.
Tyrese, that's what it was. You're right.
I feel like this first season was a cash grab. Of course, I mean, we got to be patient to see exactly what happens. Yeah. The courts are all hit or miss. So it's just kind of like, I don't understand the point to that. But you're doing, I mean, you're doing a tournament at the beginning of the season when either everybody is healthy or everybody's not healthy. So it's not mid-season when everybody's probably getting their stride. Yeah. On the strength of it, there really is no incentive for you to be excited to play it. The only big difference I see from the normal regular season is that I think nobody can sit out during the tournament, which is why I think everybody's been sitting out early. Yeah. But you have to create some kind of incentive that's going to cause people to be excited about it. The playoff thing, it is possible. Like maybe, that does something as far as the playoff incentive of being like, if you're in the play-in, you're automatically in. But right now, there's nothing to it. What's up, Mom? There's nothing to it that makes me excited, even as a viewer, to be like, this makes me want to sit back and watch even more. Like that does nothing.
Yeah, I got you. Let's take a quick second and read the comments. So I think to make it more entertaining, make it have some draft capital to stop tanking for the lesser teams. For the better teams, help the seeding. That comes from Malcolm Brown on YouTube. Appreciate that, bro, for tapping in. I think that's interesting. I think when you tie something to it rather than just a money grab, it becomes different. Jude, tell me your thoughts, bro. Initial thoughts and what could possibly make it better.
I think initially I did not like it, man. Initially I didn't want the NBA to change anything. Yeah. But as I learned more about what the in-season tournament was, I'm open to it. I'm interested to see how it's gonna look, how it's gonna play out this season. Do I think it's needed? Nah, but from the other side, they probably trying to get some views and some, ratings up in the early part of the season where people really watching football and only thinking about football, and they just trying to draw in some viewers. And then, like y'all said, a cash grab. It's in Vegas, man. They probably putting a stamp in Vegas because I'm pretty sure they gonna put a team out there at some point. But I'm interested to see how it goes. As far as incentives, the amount of money y'all making right now is incentive to play. I like the rules that people can't sit out. So if people coming out there to Vegas to see, their team play, they don't really have to worry about, unless the player is injured, him sitting out. And then as far as playoffs go, the incentive is to win. All of this is counted for the record, so it's definitely a playoff incentive as well.
Yeah, I think Malcolm brought up a good point too. They got a TV rights contract coming up, so I think this type of stuff, you're trying to incorporate more viewers, more people coming in and checking it out. I think it's super dope.
They're trying to sell that like directly. Like they're trying to sell the tournament directly as a part of their media rights, so that like maybe they can go outside of TNT or whoever. That's the whole purpose. But if you're trying to sell that as media rights, there's no incentive there. You're just selling as basketball games that are during the regular season, and there's no excitement. Like nobody cares about the cup. Like you got to do something different.
So what gets them to care about the cup? Tell me that.
Okay, so full blown, because I like what was said about the draft. So if you're gonna do it, let the winner automatically get a top 5 pick in NBA draft next year.
Wow.
You want to make people you want to make people care, because think about this, right? Okay, so we talk about we have stronger teams as NBA champions, but if we look at it, a lot of those teams don't really show themselves until the second half of the season. Like we look at the Pelicans, look at like those other teams last year that like shocked. Looked at the Jazz. How excited everybody was about the Jazz last year this time, right?
Don't worry about the Jazz.
So you play the tournament, and the team who wins the tournament gets incentive for a top 5 pick. That essentially either becomes a trade piece or it becomes the key to your future.
That's a lot, bro.
That offset it. I would say 10 to 15, bro. 5 to
right. So okay, but look at it like this. Everybody wants people to stop tanking, right?
Sure.
So in order to stop tanking, you need to win, but you also need to win this tournament, because it's not a guarantee that you're going to get that whether you're in the lottery, especially with them changing how the lottery is lined up. I think they've recently made some changes to the pinballs or whatever. Let that draft capital be it. So you ultimately playing for that.
I feel like they should do an in-season tournament with the teams that didn't make the playoffs, and then decide the draft capital there.
That didn't make the playoffs? Yeah.
Like a one-off
in the lottery. That's not bad.
That's still, but the thing about doing
top 5, that's a lot to ask, B.
It's not, bro, because
top 5.
It's still teams in there that's losing, and not everybody wants that top 5 pick. So that pick is either going to go to the right team, or it's probably going to get traded to the right team. So you want to make it exciting.
So what if the Nuggets won last year and they got Wemby right now?
So if the Nuggets won last year and they got Wemby, that's on the NBA to figure out. But I don't see that happening. When I say top 5 pick, I mean like the 5th pick.
But Teddy makes a good point. If that case, and those top teams become even more stacked, like what do you do? Like if teams are just better than you, you get top 5 for being the best.
Well, if you think about it, the CBA is already taking that away, so you really can't stack teams no more. Not only because of the pay, we're looking at that right now with the Warriors.
Yeah. But at least you get a couple years before you got to pay that guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like I said, I mean it's a trade piece. I mean the rich are getting richer either way, so that doesn't even matter.
All right, so check this out. So we got to close up the segment here soon. So give me who comes out. Group A, you got Memphis, Phoenix, Lakers, Jazz, Blazers. Who coming out?
Lakers.
All right. Denver, Clippers, Pelicans, Mavericks, Rockets.
Denver.
Kings, Warriors, Timberwolves, Thunder, Spurs.
Wait, what you say?
Kings, Warriors, Wolves, Thunder, and Spurs.
The Warriors.
Warriors coming out of there. All right, Sixers, Cavaliers, Hawks, Pacers, Pistons.
Sixers.
Bucks, Knicks, Heat, Wizards, Hornets.
I'm gonna say the Heat.
Why y'all taking so long?
I'm gonna say the Bucks. Come on, the Bucks don't look that good right now.
I ain't gonna shy away from them just yet. I ain't good on it, man.
The Bucks don't look that good right now.
All right, Group C: Celtics, Nets, Raptors, Bulls,
Celtics.
Magic. Yeah,
That's
makes
the Celtics.
sense. So you got Celtics, Heat, 76ers, Warriors, Denver, and the Lakers.
We got to pick one.
Yeah, pick one.
I'm taking my Sixers, bro. I'm not betting against them.
Oh, man, that's a lot.
Hey, regular season, we are a dominant team. I want to see what Nurse does in the playoffs. Regular season, bro, ain't nobody touching us. I don't even care.
How you mad at it?
The Boston Celtics right now.
Celtics look good, man. I hate to see it. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Did y'all see that dunk Jaylen Brown just did on Gobert?
Yeah, he put it in the chat. I saw it. He said Jazz, Denver, Warriors, Pistons. Hey, Malcolm, chill out, bro. Chill out, bro. Nah, check it out, man. Look, so this is the thing. I think even talking about tanking, talking about teams, talking about the draft, this thing to me is a perfect segue into our next segment, right? I think it's a perfect segue. And as I watch my Lakers on the screen behind Julius, let's talk about this. Sixers will crack again. Jesus. You gotta love it. Celtics for the whole thing. That's not a bad choice either. Tell me about this, man. I think this leads straight into our next segment. Can the Grizz come back? Like with this 25 games, first 7 games of the season, you're 1-6. You just got your first win. You started 0-6. And it took a Hercules effort from who's my shooter, my big bulk shooter. What's his name? Desmond Bain, and JJ. Mm-hmm. So like they had to go crazy to get that W. Like, are we just gonna call off the Grizz because his first 25 games? Like, it's different, right? Like in football, you can go down 3-5, and like my Raiders, 3-5 and come back. But if you go down like 15-2, 2-15, 5-15, like that's hard to overcome. And that's hard to ask Ja to come back for the last 50 some odd games of the season and be like, take us to the playoffs. Like, are we calling on the Grizzlies? Drew, let me start with you and I'll come to you, Will.
Nah, it's way too early in the season to call it on them. I think they were in a few of those games that they lost. And they have a new team, man, and I think they'll piece it together to try to get in that bottom half of the playoffs, especially when Ja come back. They'll be a completely different team, and they go on these 10-game winning streaks with Ja Morant in, and they'll be right back into the fold. What I do think, I don't think Ja shot him in the foot. I think their GM shot him in the foot by letting Tyus Jones leave to Washington. They could have had him, man.
He's been solid,
bro.
He's had great stats the past couple of years off the bench.
Yep, he was good point guard, man. That's what they need right now because Marcus Smart ain't it no more, man.
Yeah, people in the chat. I got a person in the chat saying Grizz gonna be a lottery team.
No, come on now.
It's the Western Conference.
Oh man, so it's not hard. He's the reason they suck now. He was acting like a liquor bottle was a gun just the other day.
Was he?
Crazy, man. Oh, I don't know. I don't get it, G. I don't understand it. Like, you already been hit twice, right upside the head. You know what I mean? With these charges, like, what you doing, bro? And this is my thing because my question, I want you to give your opinion on this, but also answer this question for me too. When we get to the playoffs and the Grizzlies are a play-in team, right? Mm-hmm. Is this a team you want to see in the playoffs fully healthy?
The way Desmond Bain is playing, if Ja comes back, probably not. Because the Western Conference is up for grabs like that. Like, there's really nobody solid right now in the Western Conference where you're just like, well, outside the Nuggets, where you're just kind of like, oh, they scare me. Phoenix don't scare you. We don't even know when Bill and Booker are going to play. I think it's because of Booker's shoes. Those shoes are trash.
Booker's shoes are different, sir. I would agree.
These are trash, bro. They look like Nike.
I can't say I want to see them. I ain't
seen them. They look like Nike Roches from like 8 years ago, bro.
I will say this: it is a very basic shoe that I thought would be more, but
let's put this in perspective though. Like they gave up 42 to the Jazz in the first quarter. Like you've got 2 former defensive player of the years in there, and you're 23rd in points allowed per possession, right? So I'm gonna give you a rundown. You got Ja for 25 games. You just lost Steven Adams out for the season. So your rebounding percentage is trash now, unfortunately. Brandon Clark is still out. I think he's out with an Achilles tear, if I'm not mistaken. You're last in offensive rating. You're 26 in the assist to turnover ratio since trading Tyus Jones. He was second. You traded him, and now look at where you're sitting at. And then your half court defense, which essentially is your bread and butter, you're 28th.
And they got D Rose, bro.
Bro, it's like I said in the chat, Jaren Jackson is averaging like 8 fouls a game, dog. Like the bright spot is Desmond Bain, and Jaren Jackson did play up the par in the last game, but it's a huge hole to ask them to come out of and to ask Ja to pull them out of, considering everything that they're going through. And then depending on what the Western Conference looks like at the halfway point, the play-in may be their best possible way to do it. But then you got to get lucky 2 to 3 games because they're probably going to be the 8th, the 9th, or 10th.
I'm thinking if you get playing, you get a spot, you actually have to see Denver first, Clippers if Harden go crazy. Like there's going to be some squads.
Let's not be
ridiculous. Got that in there.
James Harden playoffs.
Hey, Harden. I'm saying for the number 1 seed. I'm not saying for the playoffs.
You're not. The Clippers are not going to be number 1 seed.
Man,
the Clippers are not going to be number 1 seed.
Think about this scenario, right? Think about this scenario. Think about PG going down, Kawhi going down, and Houston Rocket James Harden. Because it's gonna come. So there's gonna be a few games this season where James is gonna be like, "Oh, it's just me."
Well, we're still waiting to see where James is gonna play because they already said Ty Lue said Russ is gonna start out as the point guard. Probably eventually James will go to the point guard, but then what happens when that does? If Kawhi stays healthy, if PG stays healthy, you got too many players trying to get the ball going down court.
But I will say this though. Everybody got him. But this is what I'm saying. Like if you think about Russ is probably their best slasher, right? Talk about PG and Kawhi. Kawhi needs a ball. He can go one-on-one pull up. But what if you're allowing James Harden to do what he does great, which is facilitate, right? We're not asking him to score. If you're facilitating, and I have Kawhi on a wing, PG on the wing, and Russ slashing through the middle, those are options. Now defensively, I can rest on my two-way players, right? My 2 best two-way players. But I mean, there's some options for them to work out through the season. Am I tripping?
It depends on what version of the system you're getting.
Yeah.
If you're getting the system of the Houston Rockets version, it's still up in the air because as great as he was still jacking up shots. And he was running the Rick Adelman offense, which is based off of jacking up shots. And now you got Kawhi Leonard down there banging with the big boys at power forward, who can't, like, no diss, but like Kawhi can barely stay healthy. So now you want him banging down low when he's a perimeter player?
Yeah,
they got too many questions. I'm not down on them, but at the same token, it's one of those things where it's like, I need to see exactly what they're going to do before I even put them ahead of the Lakers. And the Lakers are struggling right now, even though they're winning.
Yep.
I can't put the Clippers ahead of the Lakers.
We got it's not indicative of what we see on the court. And so here we go. Shout out to Malcolm. So it might sound crazy, but bring Russ and PG off the bench. Let Kawhi and Harden start the way they can.
PG, bro.
That's close to $200 million on the bench.
Oh, bro.
I tell you what, send PG back to Philly for like them 2 draft picks, and then you ain't got to worry about that. But $200 million on the
what
bench.
You could do is you can put James in that CP role that they got on Golden State. Let that man lead that second unit. That just me though.
So let Russ go back, man, to the bench. Terrence Mann will be back soon too.
Yeah.
So y'all taking Terrence Mann and Harden over the Russ that's playing right now? Stop it. Let's keep it a buck, right? The main reason that James wanted out of Philly was because he wasn't the first option. I mean, that's literally what it is. He said it in his press conference. Now you're asking him to be the system and still facilitate? Come on, bro.
I think he can still be good alongside those stars.
James gonna be playing with Shanghai before it's over if he don't cut it out.
Because he don't know how to chill out. Look, we can talk about this till we blue in the face. I hope James Harden goes into the Clippers and makes them a better team. Goes into facilitate. We don't need Houston James Harden, right? We've all established that. So let's see how it is, man. We'll be back. We got more coming. We're gonna speak about CJ McCollum and what he's got going on, and the top players stepping into the spotlight and taking that big step in his second year right after commercial break, man. We'll be back.
It's not just about the love of the game. It's about dedication and commitment through the process and the patience to endure. There's joy in reaching your goals and peace in knowing you've done all you're supposed to do. Ozell brand. It's not just a brand, it's a lifestyle.
We back at it, man. Want to talk briefly about this CJ McCollum thing, man. I think this whole thing has been absolutely crazy. I think a collapsed lung sounds crazy. And I think even the title of A Moment of Silence is just crazy to me. Did y'all see where they put that sports outlet?
Bro. That was wild, bro. And
he commented, was like, that's an insane pick to put up to come with my joint. Like that was wild to me, right? But let's just take a look at this thing real quick, man. So you got New Orleans Pelicans guard CJ McCollum. So he was diagnosed with a small pneumothorax, otherwise known as a collapsed lung. The team announced Sunday afternoon. For those who don't know, a pneumothorax it's when air gets in the cavity between your lung and your chest. And no, that's not me knowing it. I looked it up this morning, so praise, right? So medical imaging revealed a small pneumothorax in the right lung. Sunday, team said that McCollum will undergo further testing to determine how severe the collapsed lung is and what the process of healing will be. For now, McCollum will be sidelined indefinitely. And what is crazy is that homie was balling, right? Like when Zion's playing off and on right now, and he's having I wouldn't say he's up and down. When he's on the court, dude is nice. But what is the loss of CJ McCollum for the indefinite future? What does that do for the Pelicans and going forward?
For me, bro, I think it knocked them out of any type of contention, bro. Like he was 21 and almost 7 assists a game right now.
Yeah,
he was balling, bro, and a lot of their offense is going to take a hit because Ingram can get buckets, but Zion is more of a physical, back to the basket, try to get to the foul line type of guy. He's not really going to take you off the dribble too much. But another thing I want to say, man, is this is the second time that CJ McCollum had this injury, bro.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
and I know he's probably thinking like, I don't know. Yeah. Can I keep playing right now? So I'm definitely praying for that brother and hoping that he come back because basketball is definitely a better place with him on the floor.
For sure. Dwayne, I want you to step in. You said you were hurt and you'll manage. Tell me, what do you guys do in the interim while CJ is sidelined? Wildred, tell me what you think, man. What's going on?
It's definitely a blow. I mean, he was like Drew said, he was balling 22 and 6 a game. Like that's a big part of your offense, especially when he can stretch the floor for Zion and the other players. Now, the first time like he had it, it was like a rib injury that he had from a game, and he was out. He's only out for 3 weeks. They said he was out indefinitely the last time too. So hopefully, prayerfully, it's not something serious and he's able to come back. But if he doesn't, like he's not only taking the scoring and the stretching of the floor, he's taking that leadership. Like CJ McCollum is the leader of that team on the floor. Yeah. And even though he's not necessarily running point guard, he's the point of the team. So This will be one of them times where we really get to see if Zion is really the superstar that folks say he is, because that would mean he would need to step it up even further. And I know Brandon Ingram's been having like issues last couple games, so you ultimately could see the Pelicans make a trade if this is a long-term injury.
Yeah, I'm tripping. Dwayne said he talking about fantasy. I thought he was a Pelicans fan.
Yeah,
he talking about fantasy basketball. That man talking about his life.
That's Peanut.
Talking about fantasy basketball.
Oh, that's Peanut.
That's Peanut, man. That's my boy right
there. Don't make no sense, bro. It don't make no sense whatsoever. But look, I think when you look at this team, obviously, I think you guys touched on great pieces of what CJ brings to the court, what he does, how he does it. And the leadership that he does portray when it comes to a young player like Zion and the hype around that, what that looks like. He's been in those situations and he's played next to a player as a star in this league, an all-star in this league, in Damian Lillard. So I think obviously him being on the sideline is going to be a hit and a blow. But I think we kind of see what New Orleans is really made of, right? Like we get to see who's going to step up. Is Zion going to be consistent on the court? Is BI going to step up? Is like what this team really looks like without CJ on the court, but on the sideline. Can he coach up? I think this thing really is going to be a testament to his leadership, because it's hard to be something crazy on the court, but off the court coaching your guys is probably one of the hardest thing to do when you want to be out there.
Can we go NBA today for a minute? and let's get dramatic. So what if Zion doesn't step up and the team continues to struggle? Do the Pelicans trade Zion to New York for a package of Julius Randle, hopes and dreams, and RJ Barrett?
Don't nobody want no Julius Randle right now, man.
That is an NBA Today kind of
that's what it is. That's that NBA Today outlook. You automatically get gloomy. So we probably need to trade let's trade Zion for LeBron, the rights to Bronny. We can add Bryce in there too. Maybe Rudy, who your mama, and throw in Austin Reeves in there.
Did you say who your mom? Hey, chill out, bro. Come on, Hachimura. Hey, chill out.
Yo, Hachimura is a baller, bro. But the way they treat that man, like
he hurt. He'll be back. He'll get his.
We need him back for sure.
We definitely need him.
You ain't lying, man. But look, man, our thoughts and our prayers go out to CJ and his team, his family. We still don't know the severity of the pneumothorax. However, whatever it's going to be, we put it in God's hands. We're praying that we make a recovery, man. Basketball is better when you're on the court, CJ. And that for the Pelicans as well, man. That's going to be a big hit. Let's step into this, man. Speaking of stepping up, right? If CJ ends up having to be sidelined indefinitely for a longer period of time, we're talking about people that need to step up. Let's talk about who the people are going to step up around the league in terms of who will break out this season. So you got early year players, maybe first, second, third year players who are stepping. I don't know what year Tyrese Maxey is in, but this is his year to shine, I believe. I think a lot of what the NBA is offering and how the spacing on the floor, offenses are getting up to being able to put up more points. People got time to shine. People got time to shine. Tell me, Woodruss, I'll start with you. Tell me your 3, 4, 5 people that kind of stick out to you in your mind. It's like, this that year, bro. They're going to step up, and the role's going to be bigger than what it is. And make sure, just before I come to you, are you shaking your head because we're losing, Jude?
Yeah.
Father in heaven. All right, go ahead, Woodruss. It is what it is, bro.
So it's 4 players right now. After watching them through the first 6 games, that stick out in my mind. Of course, Tyrese Maxey. Shout out to Philly. Tyrese Halliburton, who has gotten even better. I think USA has done him good, and his assist game is crazy. Ant Edwards. I was big on him. I told y'all before. I think Ant Edwards' ceiling is almost Michael Jordan-esque, the way that he carries himself and the way that he plays. But I feel like it's not going to happen in Minnesota. That and them ugly shoes. Eventually, yeah. And believe it or not, shout out to a 494 alumni, Scotty Barnes.
Fire.
I don't even know what watching, but Scotty Barnes, with Fred VanVleet leaving last year, has really stepped up. He's controlling the ball more. he's almost overtaken Pascal Siakam as that team's number one option.
Yeah.
I think right now he's like 20, 23, 10, and 6 a game. Even though that's 6 games, that's a great outlook for the first 6 games.
Oh, for sure.
They play competitively each game.
I give it to you. I agree. Drew, well, you got more, Wilders?
No, those only 4 that really stood out to me so far.
Okay, I got you. All right, Drew, what you got, bro? Talk to me. What people you got feels going to stand out, going to take a big leap this year?
So when you say a leap, I'm thinking of people that's drastically improving from last season. So I agree with what Will said. But Halliburton, he was good last year. He's a little bit better this year. I went with 2 of who he had, Maxey, of course, and Scotty Barnes. And then the other 2 I had was Cam Thomas and Cade Cunningham, man.
I like Cade.
I like what Cade, man. He giving you 30 with 10 assists, dang near every other night. So
I like Cade. I think when I look at I feel like a bigger Shea. That's kind of like he's kind of giving me like SGA type of feel with the way he's patient. He doesn't force stuff. Yeah. He's just kind of like, it is what it is. I'm gonna take what the defense gives me. Obviously, he's a bigger body than Shea. He can get in and do more. But I think, like you said earlier in the show, like Detroit's, they're trying to build something out there, right? And I think they're putting the right pieces in, like Jalen. I forget his last name. Yeah, Jalen Duren. He's going to be solid too. I mean, I think he's injured right now, but when he comes back, that team can be solid. I look at Detroit like I look at Orlando. Like, I feel like these 2 teams can be great, and we're just going to have to figure out when they hit their stride for it, right? 2 young players, young, hungry players, solid players like Banchero, like, I think he is solid. It can be a piece you can build around. Same thing I feel like when I feel like that from Cade. But tell me the other one you got. You said it was Cade and Scotty?
Cam Thomas. Yeah, that boy is a bucket, man. Cam Thomas getting buckets out here this season. I'm just glad he getting, the burn like that he didn't get last season, which I thought they should have kept him playing last year. I don't know why the coach felt like he wasn't ready. Had 3 straight nights last year with 40.
Yep, you're killing.
You sit him down. I didn't understand it, but
they gotta play him more though now because you can't play Ben Simmons in the 4th quarter, so he's definitely gonna get that burn.
Crazy.
I'm not being mean, but let's be honest. Like he's not.
I know you're not. I'm just crazy to me.
Who were we just talking about before? I lost my train of thought. Who did you mention before, Cam, Drew?
Scotty Barnes and Cade Cunningham.
Scotty Barnes and Cade Cunningham.
Hey, so Detroit, I like because of the coaching.
Yeah,
like that's money. Like he's gonna come in there. He's gonna do work regardless. I think they have an opportunity to really build that team. They're probably one more player away from being like the OKC of last year. But the Magic being here in Orlando, especially if that win against the Lakers, Paolo is a franchise building player. Him and Franz are the 1-2 punch. And Markelle Fultz, when he comes back from injury, I'm telling you, is my most improved player of the year. Because Markelle, since he got his jumper back, has been amazing.
Solid.
And they got like a pool of guards.
It took a while.
He had
to get on the court. That's all it was.
But I think the international play for Franz and Paolo was definitely great for both of them because we got to see Franz in a different light, and he dominated over the summer. So I'm excited for them.
Yeah, amen. I definitely got the chat talking about other players as well. Killian Hayes popped up. Obviously talking about Paolo.
Killian, all right. I just don't like that he getting more burned than Jaden Ivey out there, man. I didn't like that. Jaden Ivey.
Yeah. Ivy's supposed to be clean. I don't know, man. Obviously we don't know what goes on behind closed doors, practice, how your leadership, how you connect with your players, chemistry, all that good stuff plays into that. But they got some pieces, bro. I really
got that young boy Sasser out there too.
Yeah.
Off the bench, he cold.
I think both of those teams, just like Orlando, have tremendous upside if they all figure it out and get the chemistry right. And then you're in the Eastern Conference where there's only a few, right? Like Celtics, Bucks, Sixers, and then
Orlando going to the play-in this year.
I feel that. And the way they beat up on us the other night, obviously it's home court. We just beat you, so you probably hate us and you mad and playing at home and you're young and run us out the gym. I get that, but if they can play with that type of hunger throughout the season, that's a playoff squad.
Yeah, I ain't even gonna hold you down here.
Chill out, bro. We good. You ain't got to worry about it.
Down here in Orlando, yo, they replayed that crossover on Brian.
Yo,
like 15 times a day,
bro. I don't understand it, bro. It's everywhere. And I can only imagine what it is in Orlando, bro, which is wild to me. But I mean, I get it. I mean,
he had 48 through 3 quarters. Jeez.
It was moving, bro. But that's the thing, though. When you cross over anybody, you know what I'm saying? Steph, LeBron, KD, like, and then it's one of your best players that you're building around. You're like, oh, he's on his way.
He gave Zion work too.
That's what I'm saying.
Paolo is 20. Paolo is 20, 10, and 5 easy when he wants to play. He got out of that funk. It'll be great to see exactly what they can do. If they can show up that guard game, man.
Yeah. Oh, I know we're talking about the other players.
You think they need Zach LaVine out there?
No. Zach gonna play defense.
That's true.
A little bit.
If he gonna come out there and be
I think a person we forgot though is Desmond Bane. I think that in these first 25 games, to me, is gonna be able to show what he's really, because he's been reduced with Ja on the court. He's been reduced to a shooter, right? Yeah. When you're talking about being able to facilitate, he's hovering around 25 and 5 right now.
So
if he does that for the next 19 games, it's be crazy.
So right now, do we technically need to put Dylan Brooks as an MVP candidate for what the Grizzlies missing and what he doing in Houston? Because he in Houston.
I was looking today, man. Dylan Brooks in the top 50 points per game in the NBA right now.
He knocking them threes down. He's still.
I'm not doing nothing with Dylan right now. Bro, chill out.
Dylan is out in Houston with old bump behind Ume giving buckets, bro. They going to the same club talking about how Ume fumbled Nia, but whatever.
You already know it. Look, you know what it is, man. Definitely want you guys to continue to tap in with us here on the Full 94 podcast. We got live in the Facebook group. Check us out on Facebook. We on Instagram. We on Twitter. On everything. Full 94 podcast or the Full 94 podcast on everything. You got I am Miles Austin. Check us out. Jew_Chasing Dreams. And at Mr. Teddy Farrell. Shout out to Sports Talk with C. We know C's out there covering the game, doing what she does best. We obviously miss her here, miss her presence here with us and the fellas, but she is doing what she loves to do, and we appreciate and support C in that endeavor. And she'll be back next week. I know everybody be tripping like, where's C at? And we tap out in our lives, go down a little bit, but she's coming back. Okay,
that's why Jew wore that sleeveless shirt so he could show some skin. So they.
I absolutely love it, man. Look, make sure y'all tap in with us here at the 494 podcast here on MTMV Sports, MTMVPN. Check out the show. Check out the whole squad under the umbrella. Check out the merch. Check out whatever we got going on. We're trying to build this thing. We think y'all are a big part of it. All we are is just people who love to talk about basketball and love the game. So y'all tap in with us. We always want the smoke, so come talk with us, all right? Y'all be safe. Make sure y'all tap in. Follow us on everything. We love y'all. Be easy. We'll see y'all next week. Hey, what's going on, family? It's your boy, Miles Austin.
And this is your girl, Sports Talk with C, and you just watched the show on MTMV Sports Network. And if you like what you saw,
make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Act like you know.